Welcome back, fellow viewers, and well, finally, after having caught the Voltorbs after trying too many times, I will finally go to the Wynaut hunt, and that is also a stationary hunt. It's an egg hunt, which is one of the usually egg RNG isn't used like this. But because there's another tab, a specific tab in Pokefinder that is egg, and I haven't done egg RNG before, but I do plan on doing that just as a side note. But this one you do over the Pokefinder stationary and static tab, not the egg tab, just so you know in case you also like to replicate this hunt. And don't mind me chilling in the hot sand. So what you're gonna do is you save in front of this grandma. And who do we have here? Jesus Christ is here. Welcome back and help me as well. Good luck, thank you, darling. And yeah, thank you, help me for saying the or stating the Kecleon thing. That wasn't meant to happen. I checked and yeah, I changed it, so thank you. And it always takes a bit of time for the OBS to transfer the data to the YouTube studio thing. No idea why, but yeah. Hey there, Alex, welcome back to the stream, how you doing? Glad to see you back, hopefully you had some good sleep. Alright, so I'll show you how this RNG is done. I think we had enough talking already. So what you have to do is use Pokefinder. You go to the stationary tab because this is a stationary hunt. And well, the shiny that we will hunt today is going to be square one. This is the frame. And the delay for the Wynaut egg is 145. That's the exact frame delay. I've used that before and it worked. So that's what I'm gonna use. I don't need to calibrate this one. The long process in this will be hatching the egg. That will take a long time. That I have to say. But other than that, should be... I think we should get it today. So alright, all the parameters are set. Check that always. I mean, I don't care what gender I'll get. Okay, in this case, I'll get a modest, there. The shiny will be modest and female, because these square shinies on this save file tend to be female or are always female when I have this specific ratio. So all you do is you copy this advance. That might look different to you than it does to me. I just have this specific trainer ID and secret ID combination, of course, that always differs. And then you paste that target frame here in Ian Timer. Make sure it's set, oh, excuse me, voice breaking, of course, always in the streams. Make sure it's set to GBA in the settings tab and in generation 3. It depends on what you're playing on, but I'm playing on a GBA player for GameCube. That's why I am using the GBA timer, because all the consoles have slightly different FPS. So do keep that in mind. And what you do, yeah, you save and then you talk to the grandma, and then after a certain dialogue box, you need to press A when the timer hits 0. She says, oh, she has an egg, but she doesn't have time for it to hatch it. And then, oh yeah, you're a trainer, right? It's all the same. So after this is a yes or no. And then after, excuse me, after exactly this text box where there's no red triangle anymore, when you hear this, that's where you need to time it correctly. So without any further ado, the explanation has been done. You're not here for only that. I might as well mention it though for people who are new to this and maybe they want to replicate it. So at least it's on YouTube. People that want to get into RNG manipulation will then be able to find it. And yeah, this is this exact one, this text box is where we wait now. Yeah, there's apparently some kind of fight going on. Not fight, but a meme fight, let's say, in the chat, and well, still getting called grandma, but I guess calling some people kid kind of hurts. And he sniffed marker. Well, that's just wonderful. Government is going to ban using air conditioning for the whole country. Wait, why? There has to be a reason for that, and I hope there better be a good reason. Why would they ban conditioning, air conditioning? It was hot today and electricity was only 2 hours. Oh, yikes. Oh boy. Hey there, Kaiser Comes, and welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Do you already have a name for your Pokemon? Right, so this is the egg. Of course, you can't do RNG with an egg. What you have to do now, and that is going to be the long process. I'm going to basically bike left and right, and just gonna wait until it hatches. So that will be the, I guess, boring part. But at least I can talk to chat more then. With what should I help you help me? Managed to record 15 minutes of high quality drones and air defense last night. Don't recommend to listen. Yeah, maybe I'll hear that in my nightmares or something. I'm pretty sure that's not a nice sound to hear at all. No, survival RPG in real life, yeah, and all because of some stupid... Well, you know my opinion, right? And there we go. What are we in, like 6 minutes, and it's already about politics. Mind you, I don't mind, of course, but kind of funny that always happens. Help me, please. I'm supposed to have a headache after sniffing some marker. Well, depends, but are you okay? I stopped doing that. Half of all energy goes for air conditioning. Oh, because it's so warm now? Okay. Oh, that's very unfortunate, yeah. It was pretty nice in Luxembourg today, but nothing... I don't know how many degrees Celsius are in the Ukraine right now. Here it was 22. Sunny, good weather, but nothing too hot. How do I make it stop? My head really hurts. I think I should stop sniffing marker. Yeah. I'm glad that you figured out the solution to your, I guess, problem there. Politics? Did someone say politics? Yeah, I did. And yeah, it always happens, doesn't it? And how long will it take until a very morbid topic will pop up, I wonder? Let's see where the egg is at. Oh, that always... after I hatch this one, I think it would be wiser to switch to the Mach bike. So after I hatch this one and... well, I won't need to use calibration. But after I hatch this one, I'll... And it's not going to be shiny. It would be funny if it's the first try would be shiny. Not the first time that happened. But, yeah, if this one isn't shiny, I'll fly to this city, change the bike, and then fly back to the grandma who gives you an egg. So that it will be a bit quicker. Because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be at least multiple attempts. Or maybe some kind of curse is going on, or some kind of funny thing where in stationary hunts I either get really quick streams like the Castform and the Leap, or I get super long streams or attempts, very many attempts like with the Voltorb one. Oops, that was not my intention. Help me, are you okay? Cause, I mean, no spamming please. I'm pretty sure you're saying this as a joke, but there's better ways of getting my attention, definitely. I can talk about something morbid, sushi pizza. Yeah, that is a thing apparently right now. Been in a very creative mood lately. Ah, nice, very good. But my ADHD will not let me sit down and get to work. Hey, can you do your work while standing up or while moving? Because I've talked to some ADHD people who basically they bought a conveyor belt thing where, you know, a running mill, like a home trainer, a machine where they can run, and then they work on their laptop or write something while they are moving, and apparently that helped them tremendously. I'm not sure if that would help you, or if you're capable of investing in such a thing, but might be worth an idea. Because that made sense to me why that would work. There's just some ADHD people who need, you know, they have with the parasympathicus and the sympathicus system sometimes the energies, and that's not pseudoscience, right? That is actual medicine. If the energy levels differ, you kind of need to let that out, and one thing with ADHD is that it's not regulated with like a neurotypical person. So they might have high energy to move, but also at the same time high energy to write something down, or I don't know, to record a song, doing something that usually requires sitting down. And that can be very confusing for the body, or it can be kind of a problem for ADHD people. So I'm glad that there are ways for those people to still be able to do things, because I think ADHD people are super creative. One of the most creative people, definitely. The outside the box thinking. Hey there, Animator, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Just your own normal Animator. I predict she's gonna say that. No, I just said Animator. I remember you telling me just say Animator, don't read the whole name. 29? Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty hot. Especially when the UV, I assume that the UV that the UV factor wasn't good as well. I also checked that. I don't only check the weather, like the temperature. Okay, the temperature tells you one thing, that the kinetic energy of the atoms in the atmosphere, if you really want to be a super nerd. But that's not all, you know. You need a certain temperature feels different depending on how humid it is it cloudy, or other factors that come into play. Because a humid 45, like a 99% humidity and 45 degrees Celsius feel as hot as a dry 60 degrees Celsius. And also then there's pressure, which also makes it feel different. And for me, as a person who's super, I mean, my body is not great at metabolizing melanin. I'm very, I mean, I have very pale skin. I was just born that way. I also have blonde hair, just since I was a child. And I need to use the strongest UV protection factor there is when it comes to sunscreen, which is 50 plus. And I've wondered, do you guys even know what the number means in the protection rate with sunscreen? Because it appears that a lot of people, if not the majority I talk to, they have absolutely no idea what that is. So I might mention it here, just because I'm having a autistic moment of, oh, that is a fun fact that I know, might just tell it to other people so they learn something, just as I learn things here from the chat. So here's what it means. The protection factor just means that your natural sun, like every skin type, has its own natural minimum span or maximum span, that would be more accurate. It can be in the sunlight, direct sunlight, without protection, before getting a sunburn. So for blonde people like me, it's type 2. So I'm a skin type 2. That would be 15 minutes. And if I use a UV factor, alright, the egg is hatching. If I use a UV factor of 50 plus, that means, alright, no shiny. So we reset. If I use a, oh wait, I did the reset now without the changing the bike, because I was preoccupied with explaining the UV factor of sunscreen. Jeez. Well, I might finish it now that I've started it. But yeah, that means 50 times 15. That's the amount of time I can be in the sunlight with the sunscreen before it gets problematic. So you can calculate that, and that's what the UV factor is. That's it. Of course, it depends on what type, like what complexion of skin you have. If you, I don't know, for black people it would be not 15 minutes but something else. But then again, I'm not black, so I cannot buy something like 5 or 10. That would be way too low for me. The person above me has a Godzilla PFB. And yeah, he's a big Godzilla fan. At least I think it's a he. Don't want to misgender my viewers. Alright, so I need to remember to do the bike thing next time. Otto, it's a kid, by the way. Oh well, I called him a kid yesterday, and now he's calling me grandpa because I think that hit a nerve, which wasn't my intention, but that's just a thing. If you're an adult, any teenager or like a minor is a kid to you. That's like, I'm 30, and to my mom, she still calls me a kid because to her I am. But yeah, I don't know. Is it really a thing that younger people like Godzilla? And if so, I mean, he can like Godzilla all he wants. Not shaming any fandoms. Usually the thing is that I can have ideas, but my brain won't let me put it to paper. I can talk about it and such, it's weird. Oh, so you could maybe record yourself with your phone what you're thinking. So you talk about it like if you would explain it to someone, but that person isn't in the room. Like, there's no person, you're just talking to yourself, but you record that. Would that help? Because I had a ADHD doctor who did that. That person actually, he told me, and I do believe him, that he has ADHD, and that's how he went through university and also pursue his creative endeavors, because that's how he functioned and that's how he could put his ideas to paper, so to speak. He had to speak and record them first and then write that down, and then that would work. I'm bald like Mr. Clean. Okay. Sure. My hair, I think it's now 90 centimeters long or something. Need to measure it again. I haven't been to the hairdresser for a very long time. Humidity 60 to 80%. Oh no, yeah, of course. Then 29 degrees are gonna feel like, I don't know, 50 or something. High UV index, yeah, that's also what I wanted to say, but then I got distracted with something else. See, I have stream ADHD as it appears to be. I also don't like to go outside when the UV index is high. Ballistic launches destroy ozone layer, yeah, unfortunately. No electricity means no water too. Oh, that must suck so much. Gen Alpha be like, anyway, why not? This feels like school. Oh wait, weren't you the person who said you're gonna skip school today? Did you actually do it? Can buy $5 with $5. That would be completely redundant, but sure. Hey, can you turn my 5 into a 5? Can you split my 5 into a 5? That sounds like a SpongeBob joke, you know? Remember when in the episode where Patrick Star wants to buy something from Mr. Krabs and he says it's $5, but I only have 7, and he gives him the $7. What an idiot. But that is the point, right? It's funny. My skin tans very well despite the fact I'm fairly pale. It's interesting. I assume you have brown hair, because if you do, brown-haired people are just evidenced by their brown hair, to be able to produce more melanin, or in this case, eumelanin. So yeah, usually these people also get more of a tan. I don't get brown at all. I get beige at the most, and due to my either vitiligo or vitiligo, no idea how you should pronounce it, but I've heard both. There's parts of my body that never, like, they're albinistic, pretty much, and these never tan, so I have to take extra caution. But you don't see it on me, just like you would see it on a black person. Then it's like black or white, right? You immediately see it, but on very pale people like me, it's much harder to spot. I was a kid and I liked Godzilla. I never got into Godzilla even as a kid, but I just never came across it. I knew of its existence, but I just never interacted with it. I never got to watch a movie or have a game or anything like that, so I never could develop into a fan. It's actually a really good idea, videoing myself, that is. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Are two idiots arguing here? Welcome back, Arch. How you doing? We have some very interesting discussions here. I think that is not out of the norm. And yeah, Arch, come on. Feel like my mental maturity is way higher than the average chat member right now. I think we're just, you know, a decade or so older. That's pretty... I mean, that's a pretty big difference, but I'm not age gatekeeping here. As long as it's friendly, I'm all good. It's okay, I don't mind being called a grandma. I always joke that I'm a relic of the last century. I mean, if I would go and buy cigarettes, which I don't, or if I would want to buy alcohol, I'd get ID'd. Like, people don't think I'm... Like, it already happened last time again at a party. Oh yeah, how old are you? 30? And they just looked at me like, yeah. You're just fishing for compliments? No. I just never did the things that age your skin and happened to... Well, that is more luck than anything, so don't brag with... Basically, don't brag about things that you didn't really work for, I would say. But yeah, if you're lucky with genes, then... Oh no, you did skip school. If I would be your mom, or I guess your grandma now, I would ground you, but I'm just a random woman from the internet, so yeah, I cannot ground you. I skipped school today as well. I'm on a break. Oh yeah, school skipping. I mean, the most school skipping people I knew were university students, and also it's just like with when kids do it in primary or elementary school, it usually doesn't help. So I need to go grind, but like, alright. No grinding? Or have you already grinded for the item today? Or will you attempt it at a later time? Nah, my sandwich from lunch is folded. What, you don't like... Is that a problem for you, that the sandwich is folded? Which I don't mind. I know that not just texture, but how the food is... Like, what the form of the food is. That kind of affects how it tastes. That's why I prefer certain pasta shapes with... And only with certain additions, like... I don't know, the farfalle, those that look like butterflies, these kind of pasta, they really go well with cooked chicken or turkey or something like that. I prefer them like this if I would eat them over the, like with a red, I don't know, a red sauce. I know Americans have that meatball sauce, that's not an Italian thing, that is an American thing. But I would like to try it at least once. Skip school for this reason. Ah, there we go. Let's see. And what do I get? Not a shiny. Okay. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm immediately doing the bike thing because then it won't take us long between the eggs hatching. Thank you for the plug, animator. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a free Porsche. But if I could, I would. But of course not if you were a minor, because what would you do with a car and you can't even... Like, you're not even legally allowed to use it. That would be pretty pointless. I wish I had one. Is there a specific model that you would like? Because the Porsches I see the most lately are these ugly SUV ones. I really dislike them. I forgot the name of the model. Stream is behind. Sometimes that happens, yeah. You can just hit F5 if you're using a Windows browser. Or just if you're using Windows, then hit F5, then it refreshes the page. And then you should be synchronized again with the stream. Kaiser, my maturity is tenfold of yours, I trust. Guess what? Yeah, well, what? I want the Porsche scooter. Porsche scooter? How does that look like? Alright. Well, still, a scooter is fun to have. Especially nowadays, I see them a lot. But I know a lot of people who want fancy cars, so that's why I'm not surprised when people say I want a, you know, insert car thing here. And now there's a debate in my comments who's the most mature one. John is doing well, yes. John Voltorb, creator of electricity and explosions. Yes. It's John, the very hard to get for some reason Voltorb. that was yesterday. Kaiser Kamison said he likes, you know, a Smurf word, a placeholder word. You just say, oh, that was Smurfing good. It doesn't mean anything, but it's like a placeholder for any meaning you describe it to. And he says John is that word for him. And because he said that, and then I got the shiny Voltorb yesterday, I named it John. And that's why he's asking. I know, we have so many very oddly, super specific insiders. It's like someone who then didn't watch that stream will be like, huh, what? Keep using the arrow keys to try and skip forward as though this is a YouTube video. That's not gonna work. But I know, muscle memory. Is it a different age for driving in Germany? No. As in, I know in the US, apparently people can start to drive at 16, which is very early to me, because in pretty much every EU country that I know of, or that I'm aware of, you are allowed to drive at 18, not 16. Usually don't reload because I'm worried I'll miss something. Yeah, I don't know, is it just me, or is just YouTube in general having kind of a lot of hang-ups lately? Oh, you have my information? Every piece of info? Well, my favorite color, that is very easy to find out. Also my country place. My favorite minimal. My favorite minimal in the air. Service is unavailable? What service is unavailable? The game? On the topic of Yana being of importance, Yana seems like more of an actual mother to me when my mom... Oh, that's... says less about me than and more about your mom, but... As I always say... And that's... Here we go, half an hour in and now it starts to be morbid. But, every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child, and that's just a truth that I've come to learn. I'm sorry. Hopefully it will turn out fine in the end. We can drive at 15. At 15? That's very early. It's even earlier than in the US, and I thought 16 was early. Oh yeah, there's a rebellion going on. I don't even know why, as I'm not some kind of ruler or something, but apparently they're already rebelling against me. Well, I don't mind because I'm in a way pro good rebellions, so yeah, go ahead. Yeah, oxygen is just... I mean, O2 is a bro, O3 is not so much a bro. Don't inhale that, that's not nice. At least my mom plays Pokemon. My dad actually plays Pokemon Go a lot. He's like max level and everything. Really obsessed with it. Jesus, I'm swapping between 7-year-old maturity and 65-year-old man. Yeah, it doesn't get boring that way, does it? Wait, you're confused at what I'm saying? Like what confused you? Duality of man. You either discuss politics, the fate of America and the world, or you talk about John. That's what this is all about. Are you slow? No. Alright, Arch. Did you let your cat walk across the keyboard or something? Looks like that. Yeah, this is the longest part of hatching or doing this hunt. You just have to cycle back and forth and wait until the egg hatches. And if it's shiny, congratulations. And if it's not, well, you know, you reset. See how much quicker the Mach bike is compared to the well, let me see. Okay, it says there's noises, so that is the last. There's 3 kinds of texts that you see with eggs. The first one is something akin to, I don't know, it's not known when it will hatch. Ah, there we go. The second one is, okay, sometimes you feel something, must be close. And the third one is, you're hearing noises now, so it has to be very close. And every single Pokemon is programmed to have a specific number of steps that you need to take in order to hatch the species egg. And that depends, like the shortest one, if my memory serves me correctly, is Magikarp. And some others are very long. But I don't think Wynaut is in that category. Yeah, that's not cool here. Some people would not like reading that in general. Yeah, please no hostility, help me. Your favorite mineral is Gerald? I never heard about a mineral called Gerald. Or are you like, when you had, let me guess, when you had a math exercise, like name this shape, you didn't say right triangle or something, you just wrote Josh or something. Which technically, yes, you named the shape, but that wasn't the question. That wasn't what was meant to be answered. There we go. Oh, hey there, Amit. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Have you ever realized that Pokemon goes their route number in number order? What do you mean by that? Would anyone like to battle me in the arena? Which you need to specify which. If you think about it, Kanto is on Route 1 or something. What is wrong with my voice? Then 20 to something like... I assume you mean HGSS? Yeah, okay. Just no toxicity, especially towards special ed people. Yeah, well, I laughed now, but they do get the short end of the stick always, and I mean, I also don't want to see the R word here, and I'm pretty sure you know which word I mean. Your dad's name is Joe? No joke. I know so many Joes, or as it would be pronounced as Joe in Luxembourg. You wouldn't believe how many Joe I know. Or Kevins, or Chris's. Christoph, that's also a name you hear everywhere. Joe Mama, yeah. No. The arena is in the Safari stream. So that would be this Saturday. Oh, you're speaking about a proverbial chat arena battle. I wish I could throw an apple at you in Greek ages back. I'm 5000 BC. Ah, yeah, okay, That makes perfect sense. But do I know Joe? Joan? That reminds me that the Joehn thing looks like a tragedy, you know, tragedy with ending not in a Y but a I-G-H. That subreddit, or basically that idea of names spelled in a very unconventional way just because the mom wanted a unique spelling. But in return, that name just curses the child having to... Yeah, I mean, they have to live with that name for like a minimum of 18 years. Looks like it's such a name. I've seen the wackiest names. Apparently there's people in the US who are legit called ABCDE, but it's pronounced Apsidy? Why would you call your child ABCDE, even if it's apparently pronounced as Apsidy, but why punish your child like this? And what is this? It's do you really want your own son or your own daughter? Do you really want to give them a name that you would give a paint file or like a Windows file that you know, a second version of some draft that you just type, I don't know, what should I call it, abcde.bmp or bpm or not bpm, bmp or jpeg or something. You don't call your kid abcde. Mother Heaven. Yeah, Jesus is here. Welcome back, Jesus. Remember seeing a kid named Absidy? Yeah, exactly, that's... Yeah, I was looking at the game when I explained that, and now I've seen, yeah. It's incredible that you are allowed to legally call your child that. In many European countries, you would not be allowed to legally name your child that. Gonna sleep now, good night. Alright, Animator, I wish you a good night. And see you tomorrow, hopefully. Already weekend, can you imagine? Need to throw hands. And hopefully flip some tables. There's other names that are just absolute. I mean, Nevai, come on, heaven backwards? Nevai? Kind of a stretch. Oops. That would be pointless. Although getting an accidental shiny like that would be funny. Although then I would need to hit a very specific frame, and I think that one's already over, since I only get certain frames in the 3000 to almost 5000 range that give me shinies, and later I have to wait like 42,000. That's a bit late. Poor kids though, yeah. I mean, imagine being called ABCDE. That's just comes across as if the mother doesn't care about the child, you know? Just like I said, naming your child like a file project on Windows. What the hell? That's your child. Or they give them names that might sound cute when they're a baby. But remember, a human is not gonna stay a baby its whole life. It's gonna be an adult one day. And it wants to go to, or they then, it is a bit dehumanizing. you know, they need a job later. They'll have maybe a loved one or friends alive. You don't give them a name like that. Nevi is certainly a common name in the US. I personally hate the name, but I have met 3 people with it. The only person I not know, but that I've met, who was a random tourist that I came across in America. She was called Nevi, and I was just like, huh? Nevi? Okay. How's that spelled? Oh, it's heaven backwards. And was like, oh, okay. Not as bad as ABCDE or Absidy. It's not Absidy. Jesus. Give them good names. I also like I get it if you wanna give your child a unique name, because I really don't like it when people give their kids names that every single or almost every 4th kid has. But also don't give them a name like ABCDE or just... I've seen worse than that even. I don't know, whatever Elon Musk calls his kid. Like with numbers or something like that. That is just... How is that even legal? And there's a Jujutsu Kaisen battle going on in the chat. Okay, here's the real question. What name do you think fits me? Don't say John, I'm being sort of serious here and want to see what people think. Well, I know your real name, but if I didn't know and I would have to guess, what name would I give you? Good question. Still thinking. That's a very good question. I don't know. When I see a name, I try to not set any prejudice things into it, or I don't try to make a image of that person in my mind before. I guess Thomas or something like that. Nevi is not unique. Name him something, I don't know, John or something. Yeah, there's a lot of Johns. But John is more of a English, like it's very common in English speaking countries, not so much in other countries. And I bet there's names that that you would see in Luxembourg, like every single or almost every single group that you're in, and you would never hear that name in or almost never hear that name in the US. Like, well, I pronounce it as Cédric. That's the French pronunciation, but you would know it as Cedric. There's a lot of Cedrics in Luxembourg or in France, but there don't seem to be that many in the US. I mean, it's not a super rare name or anything, but there's certain names that are just really common here. Like, for example, Kevin. In Germany or in German, there's even a saying, it's Kevinism, or as they would say, Kevinismus. It's kind of like a stereotype of what a Kevin is. And I see specific phrases being repeated a lot. I have no idea where that secret technique sniped him like JFK comes from. It's a very common name in Christian languages, either John or related equivalent name for a certain language. I mean, my name is a different, like a Hebrew spelling of Also a name that usually is written with a J. So that would be Jana. Also comes from, all of these names come from Johannes. I think it was the person who, oh, what do you say it again? I'm having a brain fart right now. What Christians do the ritual to babies, or in general anyone who they dip them into water to wash away the original sin of Adam and Eve. What's it called again in English? Why can I not think of that word right now? Baptism. Oh my god, I could. Yeah. John the Baptist from his name, and yes, John, we're Johning again. But originally he was called Johannes. And that's where my name Jana comes from, or derives from at least. And even with my name, I mean the male variant of my name, even with the spelling, is pretty common, but the female one, a Y-A-N-N-A, is super uncommon. I only know 2 people. And others in school, or when I get a letter from any institution, they often have a problem with my name. No idea why, but considering that Anna or Jan are very common names. Yeah, baptism. I was able to reach into my neurons and find the name or the word that I was looking for. Oh, come on, still no Wynaut? Oops. As in, what takes it? Yeah, well, that is hatching eggs for you. I still think I could maybe do it this stream, but it's not that this is hard. It's definitely not hard, but just takes a bit longer because you're basically just hatching an egg. And hatching an egg in Pokemon, especially the older games, means just doing this over and over and over again. Ah, there we go. Hey there, Alan Roger. 3rd account, welcome back. Right, so let's reset. Which makes sense. Luxembourg's historically Christian nation, yes, much like much of Europe, exactly. Makes sense your name is inspired from them. I mean, my name actually comes from a Finnish girl that my that my father came across while I think he was working for the company Snidero, a Italian kitchen manufacturer, I think. And he came across a family, and her daughter was called Jana, just like me. And he loved that name so much, he really wanted his daughter to get that name, and that's why I have the name. Not because we're particularly Christian, because we're not. So there's a 50% discount on something apparently. So don't miss out on that deal. I wonder when Fiery Chameleon comes back, because he actually became a Patreon, so I have to thank him for that. That happened yesterday. Was very positively surprised. And very thankful. Super thankful, actually. I didn't even think I would get a single one. And I'm happy for every single one. Well, I mean more so that if you trace it back far enough, the name has Christian origins. Ah, yeah, okay. True. Yeah, a lot of names in Luxembourg are Christian, like Christian origin. Well, a very popular boy's name now is Theo, or Theo, as a English speaker would pronounce it. And that literally just comes from the Greek word theos, and that means God. Cut in half. Named Andrew because my mom liked the name reading a book of names, not because he was an apostle, but the name's origins can be found there in biblical times. Ah, yeah, one of them was called Andrew, true. You know, in Andrew, I think you are the only Andrew that I know, because here generally in Europe, you would rather see Andrea, both as male and female name. It's a unisex name now. I have an uncle who's called Andrea, but he's a man. Or André, a French version. Andrea is Italian. André is a male French name, also with the same root as Andrew. I know so many Andres. It's also a name that is very common. And sometimes, if people in Luxembourg are called André, some Luxembourgers it kind of morphs into Ender, and they're called Ender. So not André, A-N-D-R-E, but A-N-D-E-R. But essentially they stem from the same name. I love stellar names. I love names that have anything to do with basically space. Names of moons. Names that have any meaning that is tied to astronomy or the stars or anything like that. I know that if I'll ever have children, I'll probably give them names like that. And I won't give them tragedy names, because that is just mean. I don't want to you don't want to curse your kid. That's just incredibly unempathetic. You unfused? Yeah, the anglicized name is Andrew or Andrea, but the apostle's name was Andreas. Andreas you see a lot in Germany. Like, all the Andreas that I know are almost all of them are either from Germany or Austria, to be fair, also German. I like Italian names. They have a nice ring to it. And I have let's say a weakness for, I know that's very, very plain and vanilla maybe, but I like names, well, especially with boy names that end in O and girl names that end in an A. Why do you just give your real name out like that? Oh, my real name is known like since a long time, let's say. Over a decade at this point on this channel, definitely. It's true that you shouldn't just put your name out on the internet anywhere, but I mean, we have 4 people watching right now, and considering that most of my viewer base already knows my name, because it used to be the name for the channel because I couldn't think of any fun username. And I literally used to end videos with "my name is Yana" and then "thank you for watching." Which now I'll probably say Infinite Universe, but I don't mind people calling me by my given name. I still don't know who he is in person. Like, do you know how many Andrews there are out there? A lot, I bet. And the US is huge. Do we have a second Alexander here? Because you wouldn't be the first one. So many A names. Ahmed, Alex, Andrew. Remember watching one of your old videos fairly recently and saw people calling you your name in the comments? Yeah. So it's not a secret. Definitely not. I will also get back to making videos. I just need to, I have Adobe Premiere now. And I'm currently trying to learn it enough so that I don't have to look up a tutorial every time I want to edit a video. It has been a very long time since I... Basically, last time I used Adobe Premiere I was like, I don't know, 15, so it's 15 years ago. So that will be back as well. My name starts with an O, English version begins with an A, yeah, Alexander, yeah. That's also a different spelling for that. Are you really, like, you write that a lot with the marker thing. Are you joking? Or are you not? Because if you're not joking, as you may know, I'm very autistic. Sometimes I can't tell if people are being sarcastic or not. And especially over text, that's sometimes very hard. Or even harder. There's no social cues to indicate, like, calculate in your head, okay, is this now, does this indicate sarcasm or not? But if you're really doing the marker sniffing bit, stop, it's not good. I have to go soon to get ready to work. If it doesn't work out with listening to the stream, then don't stress yourself just to be part of the stream, that's okay. I don't want people to stress themselves just to be part of a stream. I mean, there's more important things. No to what? As in, you're not joking? Oh. I mean, I'm not a licensed professional who can help you with addiction. Try getting a hold of one, that's all I can tell you. I'm just a streamer, I play a game on the internet and I talk to people. I just can tell you that it's not good sniffing a marker. I know there's people who do that where they inhale certain, also from other, like for example deodorants or other cans, hairspray. And it's an addiction like any other addiction, and you need special, like, very specific professional help for that. And I cannot give you that help. I can only tell you what you should do, but, I mean, pretty sure help me that you're intelligent enough to be able to understand that by yourself. And telling someone who's addicted, oh yeah, that's not good, I mean, they know, right? That's not the point. Just enjoy the streams, they make me happy. Yeah, that's... See, those comments, I really hope that I get them, because that's what I want. I want the streams that I do to be somewhat of a safe... Not a safe space that some people might take that as a... Like... They don't take that with good faith, that word, but just a chill place to hang out and have very strange discussions. Neurodivergent friendly, no age, basically no gatekeeping. I don't care if you're 99 years old or 12 or something, even though if you're a very young minor, I would like it if you would ask your guardian or parent if that is okay watching my streams, but I always try to keep it family friendly. I'm a simple man. Wake up, eat, infinite omniverse stream, work, sleep, repeat. Nah. So the brain rot is now inescapable. I hope you're happy with that. It's weird to me, I like the smell of petrol. I get what you mean. I also kind of like the smell of petrol. Well, here's the thing. I got some accidentally on my hand. That was on Tuesday, because I had to fill my car with gasoline or petrol, and I washed my hands, and it still smelled like that petrol. It was very a very persistent, stingy smell that's hard to get rid of. And I didn't want to have a hand smelling like petrol, but then again, I don't hate the smell, but still, you don't want to touch that too much. The person that used the fuel before me didn't really like. The hatch wasn't properly closed, and that's why I got a little bit on my hand. And there was also some on the ground, so I assume that pumping station had some kind of thing where, well, I mean, pretty uneconomic, don't you think? Because that petrol that lands on the ground or on people's hands, don't know if that gets... Oh wait, no, it does get paid. Oh, well, maybe it is economic, but not good for the environment. And imagine if someone lights up a flame too close. Ugh. I heard safe space and my brain started thinking about my old history teacher that would go nuts when someone mentioned a safe space and would rant about snowflakes and liberals love the US joke. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, come on, is it... Since when is empathy a lame thing? Are you like emotional... Do you have the emotional intelligence of a toddler or something like that? Come on. What's wrong with a chill space where everyone's welcome? That's a good thing. Right, looks like I'm gonna head out. Thanks for the stream as always. Yeah, thank you for being part of it, as always. And hopefully see you tomorrow. Tomorrow it's gonna be Safari Saturday. You're tripping again? So you did it again? Well, you know that I can't help you with any addiction. I can just tell you to not partake in it, but that's all I can do. Jeez, I'm attracting some real addicts here. Vapes and markers, cigarettes. Not that I blame you or judge you, because addiction, how we treat it, is just not the right way. No, he's not welcome. I mentioned that in one stream in the past, that I go by Karl Popper's principle, and that is his argument that he did being intolerant towards the intolerant, so a Nazi would not be welcome in my stream, because they themselves are not welcoming. And that's, when you Google it, or just look it up online, Karl Popper, so K-A-R-L, and Popper, P-O-P-P-E-R, paradox of tolerance, you're gonna find it. That's the principle that I basically live with that every day. I'm trying to be as tolerant as I possibly can, but to some hateful ideologies and dogmas, I'm not tolerant. And this is not a shiny, so, well. I wonder how long does it take per egg hatching session, because I didn't pay attention in how many minutes that was. But I'm already been streaming for an hour. That's basically the longest part of it. Just hatching the stupid egg. And hoping that you hit the correct frame. But I don't think this is gonna be as nasty, let's say, or rigorous as the Voltorb hunt. That was because I got inconsistent frames. But here I definitely know the delay. The delay is always 150, 150, no, not 154, 145, sorry. It's always like this. I've got it like that on my Ruby, my French Ruby, and I'm gonna do it here. And well, there's the other second Ruby cartridge that I have, where I only play that only while streaming. That's the shiny only challenge. Are you watching? You like watching Shin Godzilla? Your TV isn't on? You can turn it, just turn it on and watch it. Nothing is stopping you. And you know what now? What comes now? It's the bike part. Unfortunately, in Ruby and Sapphire, you cannot use a Pokemon with the... You know, there's some abilities that fire Pokemon can have that cuts the egg hatching rate in half, basically, or it makes it so that the egg hatches in fewer steps. But unfortunately, that out of battle effect only exists since Pokemon Emerald, and since this is Sapphire, there's nothing that I can do to make the egg hatch faster, unfortunately. All I can do is do this, drive back and forth, right and left. Switch on my TV will be Shin Godzilla is playing at the same time. Oh, you're watching that and then... Wait, do I understand that correctly? You're already watching it, but your TV isn't on? So you're watching it on another device? In... what was it again? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they had a island where there was another pension where you could or caretaker where you could hatch eggs, and you just have to press in one direction. It would already go around the island. That was very practical, especially if we were hatching hundreds of eggs, maybe thousands of eggs, just like I did when you were trying for a shiny. That was so practical when they did that. Also in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it's nice that you can switch between the two bikes. Immediately, you don't have to go to that shop. Also, that was a nice quality of life addition. Definitely. Let's see, I did plan on streaming until midnight, at least midnight my time. Still have about an hour. Should I get it pretty early then? Depending on how awake I am, I'll probably stream the Ruby cartridge, the German one. But let's see how it goes. This run is just really long just because of the bicycle section. That's pretty much the longest part. Shin Godzilla is coming out of the TV. That's just your imagination. Added with some chemicals in these markers, I guess. I wonder where James is. And chat is pretty quiet now. Nothing morbid to discuss, nothing oddly specific. If you want to breed in Fire Red and Leaf Green, you need to be in the post game. Because in these games, you are only able to breed when you are, if you have access to the Sevi or Sevi Islands, however you pronounce them. And they are part of the post game, so just a heads up if you want to breed something in Fire Red and Leaf Green. You can also use RNG manipulation in these games. And I will do that. Just know that the RNG manipulation is, well, a bit more complex and harder to pull off than it is in... Oops, that was not my attention. Kind of the thumb getting tired of holding down these two directions all the time for so long. Never mind Shin Godzilla, I'm an anime girl now. Well, that was quick. A very rapid transformation there. What sniffing markers does to you. I always use the changement of the music, like the or like this. If you keep holding in a direction when it says huh, then you don't hear anything. Okay, no shiny. And then you know you don't have to push the buttons anymore. Good times. And now you do, apparently you make sandwiches to get eggs. And I just instinctively got onto the bike, or the bicycle, even though now is not the time. I don't even have the egg yet. But that's just muscle memory. Okay, I just got distracted. I got a message from someone. How much alcohol do I drink? Pretty much nothing. I abstain. Alright. Got the egg. And now let's fly back to that location where we can bike to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right until an egg hatches. Unfortunately, unlike in Pokemon Go, you don't have egg incubators here. And in Generation 7, that box thing, the resort island, that was a really great idea where you could put your eggs in the hot spa. It's the hot spring water, and then it would hatch, and you wouldn't would basically be a timer, and you wouldn't even need to run around with the egg. You just could keep it in your boxes and just have to wait in real life time. That was really nice. You'll hear these 3 or a couple of notes in the beginning from that city pretty much a lot. I prefer in Emerald, where they kind of changed a bit the layout of the Route 118 around Route 117. Where you don't get blocked here, but you can go to this city. And then from to the edge of the city to the other edge of Route 118 without having to surf. No more tripping. Well, that's good. Just know what you're doing there. I would definitely suggest getting help. Ah, my nose is itching again for some reason. And it always happens when you stream. As well as, when does your voice break? Always when I stream, of course. Gosh darn you, Murphy's Law. The bane of my existence, my arch enemy. Do you have rugby in Germany? Yes. I mean, I'm not German, right? I'm from Luxembourg. That's a neighboring country. But, yeah, we call it football in the EU, not rugby. Very strange that only a couple of countries call it rugby and the other ones... No, you call it football. In the US you call it football. We call it rugby. Oh, Jesus, what am I saying? Stupid things again. Excuse me, the brain has farted very loudly. Gay rugby? No, we don't do gay rugby. We do have rugby and it's pretty much not what you expect from American football. Football to us is what they call soccer. I just mixed that up before, sorry about that. Because my nose is... Ah! Come on, we got an egg to hatch. And my left thumb is saying, hey, I don't feel like doing this anymore. It is somewhat tedious to hatch eggs in the older generations, definitely. But there's still about an hour left, so let's see if I'll be able to get it. Rugby's less protective than helmets. They're not helmet. Yeah, they don't wear helmets, unlike the football people. That's true. They also have padding on their shoulders. I never was that much into rugby, but I know that the Super Bowl is so big now that even in Europe people are staying up late to watch it, and then they return to work super tired the next day. Because of the time difference, of course. Oh boy, these eggs do take a long time, don't they? But I can't exactly... Oh, excuse me again. What is wrong with my voice? Ah, there we go. Okay. Let's see. No. Can't, unfortunately, I'm unable to transfer to Emerald. Because then it would get locked and... I mean, the IVs that the frame that I've hit when you transfer something, either via trade or by Pokemon box or anything like that, then the game gets saved, so we don't want that unless we have the shiny. She only gives you one single egg. In the Springboks, when we get to miss a week of school, wait, is that like if that team wins, you just skip school for a week because you want to party? Is that what that is? Alright, 5 seconds. There we go. And now onto the not so fun part. Oh wow, so you're such a big Springboks fan? We, usually in Europe, especially in Luxembourg as well, people tend to care a lot about football, as in soccer. The EM or the WM, World Championship, and the European Championship. Especially when you are walking around with Italian flags and you're in Germany, be prepared to get stared down. How dare you root for the opposing team. And should a certain country win a match, you'd definitely hear it, because people go on, like, they drive and then they honk their cars. They just honk in succession, and there's other people joining them. So if you hear honking, you can be pretty sure a certain team, like the French team, France, or Portugal, or Germany, or any of them, if they won an important game, then you'll know. Even if you don't watch football, just like I don't, you'll know at the latest when you hear the honking outside. Which can be kind of annoying when you're trying to sleep. Especially that was somewhat annoying when back in high school, because the exam period was very close to the World Cup, and that was very distracting. Wait, what? Your brain has problems because of the marker thing? Even more reasons to immediately go seek a professional for that, because that is not getting better, that is getting worse with time. But there are ways to combat this. There's definitely ways to stop doing that. Not impossible, definitely not. Ah, crud, I missed it again, that I said before I was going to check the time as to see how long it would take to hatch the egg, but no, I forgot to do that again. Get headaches? Yeah, I bet you get them. Next reset, if this doesn't yield me a shiny, then the next reset. I'm gonna try and keep track of the time. It does seem to be pretty long. Like at least 5 minutes. My time tracking abilities are kind of off when I stream. Hey Young Money Racing, wie geht's? Willkommen zurück. Bis jetzt noch kein Shiny gefunden, noch kein schillerndes ISO. Aber gut, den Prozess habe ich schon gemacht auf einer französischen Rubin, auf einem französischen Rubin-Spiel. Und ich kenne den Delay, der ist 145. Aber ja, hier ist der längste oder langsamste Part halt, nach links und rechts zu fahren mit dem Fahrrad, damit endlich dieses Ei schlüpft. Und da bin ich gerade dabei. Gestern mit dem Voltorb hat gut geklappt. Endlich. Hat ja viel zu lange gedauert. Which marker color is your favorite flavor? I don't do marker color flavors. I mean, I have a favorite color that's hot pink, magenta, fuchsia, that kind of color. But I wouldn't even sniff that. Just no. RNG-Manipulation ist schwer. Ich hab's aufgegeben. Schwer, also es ist definitiv technischer, als würdest du jetzt einfach so die klassische Methode einfach immer wieder probieren, bis es endlich klappt. Da bist du sehr viel länger dabei. Aber ja, der hier mit dem ISO ist halt Eier ausbrüten in den alten Spielen ist etwas langsam. Und das ist leider so. Aber ich habe das schon vorhin gut hinbekommen. Ich habe schon ein Shiny ISO so bekommen. Und diese Manip ist an sich nicht so schwer. Es ist nur, man muss Geduld mit sich bringen. Okay, help me. No, I talked, I spoke German. Chat ist auch irgendwie jetzt sehr leise oder ruhig. Im Moment habe ich nur eine Person, die viel tippt. Und bei dir so, Young Money Racing? Keine Neuigkeiten. Ah? So, du hast jetzt den Stream auf Deutsch umgestellt. Ich hoffe, das gefällt dir. Kein schillerndes. Also resetten wir. Speaking Minecraft enchantment table now. But that's the thing with my streams. I can switch between languages. And I'd say that would be fun. And very unique. I don't know any streamers that usually do that. Ich versuche ein Shiny Glumanda auf Feuerrot zu bekommen. Ja, Feuerrot und Blattgrün. Die RNG ist viel komplexer als die in Saphir, Rubin und Smaragd. Sie ist schon ein bisschen anstrengender, muss ich sagen. Die ganze Zeit das Intro neu anzuschauen, war mir ein bisschen zu viel. Ja, das ist schon ziemlich lästig mit diesem Stern. Dann musst du gucken, wie der ist. Dann musst du das immer wieder checken, eingeben und dann geht's. Das musst du gar nicht machen bei Rubin, Saphir und Smaragd. Also ich werde auch Feuerrot und Blattgrün RNGen. In meinem Fall dann Leaf Green oder Blattgrün oder Verde Folio, weil es italienisch ist. Wenn du ein Wort plötzlich auf Englisch sagst. Aber ja, da hast du recht. Das ist schon ziemlich anstrengend, die Feuerrot-Manip. Immer wieder dieses Intro. Du musst auch aufpassen, je nachdem welche Sprache das Spiel hat, musst du eine gewisse... mit deinem Programm was anderes eingeben. Oder anklicken. Oder eine andere Zahl angeben. Das auch kommt noch dazu. Deshalb die meisten geben an sich ziemlich schnell auf mit Feuerrot, Blattgrün, Manip. Und ich kann es nachvollziehen. Ich werde es trotzdem machen, einfach nur damit das auf YouTube dokumentiert ist. A word I'm not gonna read out loud, because apparently YouTube does not like me doing that, or at least streamers. Hey, come on, help me. Ich habe gerade eine Smaragd-Repro gekauft, aber mir wurde die Motivation genommen, da auch RNG-Manipulation zu benutzen. Da weiß ich eben nicht, ob das überhaupt funktioniert. Weil, wenn die Framerate anders ist als bei einer Nicht-Repro, dann geht das mit der RNG-Manipulation nicht. Aber ich habe das noch gar nicht getestet. Deshalb kann ich dazu gar keinen Kommentar abgeben. Come on, help me. If you don't stop with that, you're gonna get kicked. We do have rules here. And hatred is not really something that I want to see here. Einzigste Pokémon, wo ich das benutzen würde, wäre Shiny Rayquaza. Aber ob mir das wert wäre? Ja, also das hängt davon ab. Ich habe auf einer Rubin, eine französische Rubin. Da habe ich eine Trainer-ID und Secret-ID-Kombo hinbekommen, die mir sehr gute Werte gibt. Also das sind also das Wesen ist hart. Das heißt für Angriff gut. Und Angriff, KP, Verteidigung und ich glaube auch noch Initiative. Die IVs sind alle, oder die DVs, wenn du es so willst, sind alle 31. Und ich habe so ein Rayquaza, Shinies in einem Luxusball. Das war es wirklich wert. Das ist genial, sowas zu haben. Aber das ist sozusagen, wie die Engländer sagen, up to you, ne? How do you know what I'm typing? Come on, do you think I'm that stupid? I can definitely decipher what these characters are. No, that's also not better, because they've never heard any... like, why do you dislike gays? Come on, get a hobby. Right. Should be hatching any moment now. Hast du es rüber transferiert auf das Pokémon Bank? Ja, habe ich. Und das funktioniert. Das geht durch. Also ich weiß nicht, warum da Leute sagen, nee, das geht nicht, das wird nicht als legitim angesehen. Doch. Und ich habe ja das System hier so eingerichtet. Wenn jemand mir etwas spendet, dann pro Euro kann er oder sie sich ein Shiny von mir aussuchen. Oder ein Nicht-Shiny, egal welches Pokémon auch immer. Und dann klone ich es über den Smaragd-Glitch, Klon-Glitch. Und dann transferiere ich es über Pokémon Bank und Home. Und dann können die Leute es selbst haben. Ah, thanks, Cosmicam. Yeah, I don't tolerate such things, please. Stop with that. Thank darling. Aber ja, so ein Rayquaza zu haben, ist natürlich sehr toll. Und danach ist ja das Schöne an den neuen Generationen, dass da gibt es ja diese Mints. Ah, okay. Schlüpft. Na. No shiny. Timeout. It was a timeout. Ja, mit dem Minz kannst du das Wesen ändern. Wenn du ein Shiny hast mit einem Wesen, was nicht gerade vorteilhaft ist, dann kannst du das ändern. Und dann gibt es auch noch die Möglichkeit, die DVs oder die IVs zu ändern. In dem Sinne mit diesem goldenen Kronkorken in Generation 7. Dann kannst du die DVs perfekt machen. Und dann hast du ein perfektes Shiny Rayquaza. Also wenn du was spendest, nur 1 Euro, dann ja, dann kann ich dir das geben. Leider habe ich noch nicht genug, sozusagen, das YouTube sagt mir, das nennt man Watch Hours, also geschaute Stunden, wie lange meine Zuschauer meine Videos gucken. Wenn ich da genug habe, jetzt 3000 dieser Watch Hours, dann kann ich auch sozusagen Donations, das wären dann in dem Sinne Spenden, über den Chat bekommen. Oder ich habe aber auch Subscribe-Star, Ko-fi, Patreon oder wenn du lieber einmalig willst, habe ich auch noch andere Sachen wie Buy Me a Coffee. Ich habe nie einen 3DS gehabt, also hatte ich nie Zugriff auf Pokémon Bank. Ah, okay, ja, das stimmt. Dann kann man es auch nicht machen. Aber ich mache das dann. Ich nehme auch irgendwie Sachen an, wie wenn du einen speziellen Namen willst oder so. Oder irgendwelche anderen Sachen. Wenn ich das hinbekommen kann, dann mache ich das. Dann musst du das nicht machen mit der RNG-Manipulation, weil das, ja, gibt einfach Leute, die haben keine Zeit oder keinen Bock drauf. Verstehe ich. Can I explain myself now? Sure. It's just, I don't like to get, call FU. And I don't want to see any gay hate in the chat, even dislike. Why do you want a coffee? I explained that there's a website that is called buymeacoffee.com where you can give me a very small donation. It's a thing many YouTubers have. Yeah, this egg hatching does last like at least 8 minutes. Jeez. That's a long wait. And even so, this is not the most annoying RNG manipulation to pull off. The most annoying one is Rock Smash. I've never gotten that one to work. And you only got maybe a 10% chance at an encounter. Oops, that was not my intention. Oh mein Gott, es ist Zeit, in Erinnerungen an 4 Jahre Deutsch in der Schule zu schweigen. Yeah, that's just my thing, since pretty much only a German guy in the chat, I answer in the language that I get the question asked in. Warum ist jetzt Jesus in Chat, lol? Der war irgendwie schon seit ein paar Tagen, kommt einfach Jesus. Der hat multiple Accounts, der hat ein paar Accounts und einer davon heißt Jesus. Ziemlich witzig. Schon seit ein paar Tagen hier. I do wonder though, Alex, how much do you understand if I just speak German like that? Kind of sad that I don't have any French people in the chat, or... Well, Italian, my spoken Italian isn't good enough. They look the same to me, trans and gay. I mean, they're different things, but they're under the queer umbrella. Ich kann auf Englisch schreiben, ist für mich kein Problem. Nee, also ist okay. An sich war das ein bisschen die Idee bei mir beim Streamen, weil ich kann ja mehrere Sprachen. Warum das nicht ausnutzen? Und ich meine, wie viele Streamer kennst du, die einfach so mal auf Französisch antworten, dann mal auf Deutsch, dann mal auf Englisch, dann mal in einer anderen Sprache? Ich würde das gerne mehr sehen, deshalb mache ich es auch. Für mich ist das als Polyglot interessant. I always think it's crazy when someone dislikes trans people but supports gays. It's very strange. Definitely inconsistent, but I just generally have a problem with people. Like, that's like hating blonde people. I mean, that's just how some people are. I don't mind. Let people live. They're not hurting anyone. Oh, you're back because work is slow. I see. I did speak a long time in German, so there's that. Probably gonna answer in German again. So you see, if one supports the other, they're basically the same, so I guess which one I dislike. You dislike gays? But why? What have they done to you? Like, what's the problem? It's like disliking red hair. It's just a human trait. Who cares? I've never been forced to be gay before, and I've also never been forced to be trans. Ich finde es gut, bewundernswert, dass du so multilingual bist. Danke, aber ja, wie gesagt, ist in Luxemburg sehr normal. Also ich hab einen Kollegen, der kann noch viel mehr Sprachen als ich. Der kann auch noch Portugiesisch und Latein. Ich glaube, sein Japanisch ist besser als meins. Weiß jetzt nicht, ob ich... Niveau reicht nicht aus, um wirklich eine Diskussion zu haben auf Japanisch. Ich muss das wieder ein bisschen auffrischen. Wrong? Oh, so you don't like trans people? But why? Again, same question. What's the problem with trans people? I've never been hurt by them. They don't try to force me to be trans. They are a minority and they already have it hard enough. And it's, again, just a human characteristic that happens. And, like, trans people are 0.1% of the population. Like, no trans rebellion will happen where almost everyone becomes trans. That's not gonna happen. And even if a lot of people became trans, so what? Who cares? I just call them by the gender that they want me to call them, and then that's it. Because I don't like to be misgendered as well, even though, I mean, I'm not trans, I'm a cis woman. And yes, cis is a word that isn't new. I've seen that word in biological studies that are older than me, and much older than me, like 70 years ago. It's just Latin and means the thing that you are. Because trans is from transport. You bring something from one point to another point. Ich verstehe nur ein paar Worte. Personally think if you dislike anyone who is in the LGBTQ community, you're a red flag. Yeah, that is a big red flag. Like, why dislike these people? I dislike people who do evil. You know, narcissists, psychopaths, manipulative people, evil politician, rich people who don't, like, evade taxes and exploit people. That's who I dislike, not gay people. That's like, or trans people. Who cares? That doesn't hurt me. That's just humans having their very human things going on. And I wouldn't even mind if my kid was trans, so what? And when people, that's my opinion, when you say, I hope my kid is not trans, then you shouldn't have a kid in the first place, because if you have a biological kid like that, you're basically playing the genetic lottery. You get what you get. That's just how it is. And you need to accept your kid or child for the things that aren't his or her fault, which being trans is not a fault, that's just not a choice. And generally don't hate people for things that they have no, you know, they can't change it. Trans people are people, exactly. Trans rights are human rights. 15 years ago, yeah, that's a long time. That's why I also have to relearn a bit how to use Adobe Premiere, because it's also been 15 years since I last used it. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen, aber es ist nicht gut. Hey, maybe you learn a bit from at least the words that you hear from me in German, then you already know how to pronounce them if you want to speak German in a later time. I hate a lot of people. Jesus hates a lot of people. Are you from the first book, the first Bible? The Old Testament? Every chemist likes cis and trans molecules. Yeah, these prefixes also, like, that's a actual word, Elon Musk. Cis isn't like a new invention. It's not a neo-pronoun, no. You know, it's like when they say stupid things like these, that's when you notice they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. They've never read a scientific study of any kind, or they didn't delve into anything more scientific like chemistry or biology, where you would come across cis and trans like so often. Not even in the context of gender, like trans fats in chemistry, they don't change gender, they don't have anything to do with that. Just trans comes from transport, transition, a change of states. It just has, etymologically speaking, it comes from that word. Oha, was denn mit dem Chat passiert, war nur kurz weg. Aber der Chat hier ist manchmal sehr wild, einfach nur. Richtig random manchmal. My mom refused to support me when I came out, so I will always support them. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry. That must feel pretty bad. I've talked to people who, I guess, in your case, gay or trans, even though it doesn't matter. You're Andrew, and that's what matters, right? But I have gay cousins. One cousin who's gay, another cousin, a female cousin, she's bi. And I still remember her. I invited her to my wedding, and she was really asking my dad, like, is that okay? I have a girlfriend. and I want to bring her as my guest, and I'm like, of course, no problem. And it's because my aunt wasn't apparently not that accepting towards that, and that's just, come on. We live in the world, in the year 2024. Gay people have existed since the dawn of humanity. That's just a thing. I mean, if you want to be very nerdy and specific, if you read these studies done by the Kinsey Institute, one of the leading research centers about human sexuality, apparently the majority of people are, at least to some degree, bisexual. They just don't realize it. Because that is also can be a spectrum. Oh, trans fats, don't remind me. Oh, you also had to do the... I know exactly what kind of homework or things you had to do. Yeah, the trans fats. Jesus 2.0. But that Jesus, New Testament Jesus, is nice. What happened to love thy neighbor? My German is based on whatever I learned in high school, which is a very basic understanding, 3rd grade or so at best. That would be kind of my Japanese. I mean, A1, A2 maybe on a good day. I can read a lot of... I can read hiragana and katakana, but not... by far not every kanji. There's like thousands of them, and I know the ones that like 3rd graders, up to 3rd graders usually know, and that's it. Because it is pretty hard, and even they have like a stroke order. No way I'm learning that. That's way too much. They already have like over 1,000 or 500 words for counting things. I'm not gonna remember the stroke order of kanjis. I'm just gonna draw them or write them down like they look like, and if people can read them, then that's all that counts. I'm not gonna, definitely not gonna learn the stroke order. That would be overkill. I mean, I could, technically, but that would eat up way too much time. Not kidding, my friends and I will trick conservatives on Twitter into getting pissed on woke vocabulary chemistry. Oh my god. Yeah, they act like that's a neologism or something like that, but it's not. It's like a very common thing, and cisgender is... If you read a lot of biological studies, especially with gender in animals, like how they behave, especially mouse and rat studies, you come across the term cisgender so much, because it's even more accurate to say the mouse is male. If you really want to say, as in was birthed as a male and also has typical male behavioral patterns and hormones, and you say cis male. That's just very common. Oh, no shiny. It takes about 6-7 minutes to hatch an egg. Wow. I just timed it. Stop yapping. Come on. Do I need to kick Jesus now as well? I mean, why would you even go into a stream of mine when you don't want to hear me speak? That is kind of contradictory, isn't it? Conservative Jesus versus canon Jesus. There's cis and trans molecules as well, yeah. As a homo, highest unoccupied molecule orbit. Oh yeah! The homo! I remember, yeah, exactly. The highest unoccupied molecular orbital. When you get into electrochemistry, like chemistry regarding how electrons move in orbitals, you have the homo. Or also homo sapiens. Homo means human as well in Latin. Wanted to see if people would get pissed about something they didn't understand. Yeah, I bet they would. They just see the words and they're triggered. And funnily enough, they themselves are the kinds of people who say things like, oh, snowflakes triggered and anything, but they are triggered when they see a rainbow or the word cis. That's like 3 letters, and that makes you fit into like a toddler rage. Wow. Not homework, was trying to catch trans fat acids with gas chromatography without testing samples. Ah, okay. But I do remember having to research about trans fats. Apparently I could read a level much higher than the rest of my class, 5th or 6th grade. But the problem is that I stopped reading German after high school, so it's definitely not there anymore. Well, you never really truly forget it. It's kind of like learning how to ride a bike. If you get back at it again, it usually comes back to you. But yeah, 6 minutes per, about 6-7 minutes per egg. Jeez. Most non-mammals can transition. The sex graph for most animals looks like an M. Yeah, exactly. It's why it's not a binary. Gender is bimodal, and bimodal is not the same as a binary. But we learned that X and Y, yeah, it's a bit more complicated. What you learned was like for babies in high school. Let the real scientific people talk, because just like with anything, it's a bit more complicated than you would think. Yeah, Alan Roger or Jesus got kicked because kept saying I don't like LGBT and just stop talking, even though why would you go to, like, why would you enter my stream if you don't want to hear me talk? Then that's not a good decision then, right? Joined at the right time. Welcome back, human name. How are you doing? Was debating some 15-year-old who's a Nazi. He's crying about rainbows. Oh, yeah. Imagine being 15 and a Nazi. How the hell does that happen? Like, is history not being taught in school right now? How can you be a Nazi at that age? It's just crazy. Hope I can back up that level and even beyond, but we will see. Well, I mean, they are pretty close to English, German words, so I think you'll do fine. Guys, do you think that steel should hit grass and bug for twice the damage? Good question. I see where you're coming from, but I think grass and bug have already too many weaknesses. I wouldn't give them another one. If anything, I would give, for example, ice. Give ice more weaknesses. At the current time, it only resists itself, which is, well, not good. It should resist water as well. And maybe some other things. Maybe ground and dragon. Then it would be not as bad, defensively speaking. Honestly, that would make sense, Ahmed, but it would break the already flimsy type chart. Yeah, exactly. But it does make sense, Ahmed. I give you that. I don't get it. We have called this stream a safe space hundreds of times. Safe space doesn't mean you can't be hateful. Yeah, I explained the so-called Karl Popper's paradox of intolerance before, where I say I'm very tolerant, but I'm not tolerant towards the intolerant. That is just my philosophy. That's how I work. And that's also how the stream's gonna be. Yeah, but then steel would also be pretty good at, like, super effective against almost anything. And fire would also be good against almost anything, and electricity as well, because if you get hit by 10,000 volts from a Raichu, you'd be fried, you'd be dead. You would not survive that like you would see in a battle, in the anime, in a movie, or in a game. No, you get fried. Young Nazis are caused by the far-right rabbit hole on social media. Yeah, I'm aware of how that happens. I'm just, in a sense, saying how can you allow yourself to be that unempathetic and just a sad excuse for a person, I guess. Because I've also been mentally very unwell, but I never became a Nazi. This is a story for another time, but back when I was younger, I almost fell down the rabbit hole. Hey, you made it out, and you could stop yourself, so that alone you should be proud of yourself, definitely. Thank God every day I came out of the rabbit hole. Yeah, very good. I know, it's social media, and also there's more incels nowadays than there have been ever before, which also worries me. And just in general, and I know when I say this like this, I don't mean it in a bad way, but as a woman talking to a lot of men or younger guys, either my age, older than me, younger than me, I just noticed the emotional intelligence super low, and that's just... I'm not saying that is inherent to males, which no, it's not. They're not less intelligent than the other gender, that's just not true. But it seems with social media and people just not raising their sons, and emotionality just being seen as weak or not masculine or something, their emotional intelligence just gets stunted, and then that is the result. It's kind of frightening. And then I'm like, how the heck can you just be mean and rude and very overly dominant towards women and then cry that they all reject you? Well, we don't like buttholes like that. And I mean, back then, if you were a man, it doesn't matter how disgusting you were, it just doesn't matter in any way. You could be evil as well, or really ugly. You would still probably get a woman because a woman needed to have a man in marriage in order to have a stable life. But nowadays that's not the thing anymore. So nowadays women have actual, standards. And if you can't meet these standards, don't be angry, don't be mad at women. That's a you thing to fix, not other people. Sometimes it's you, it's not always the other people that need fixing. Just that kind of narcissism. It's not narcissism as in the narcissistic personality disorder, as in a diagnosis, but just these traits. Disgusting. Usually women don't like things like that, so don't be surprised. Alright. Another egg gotten. Another bike session. I don't understand how steel hits ice and rock for twice the damage. I just don't get why fairy and think made this way so fairy can't be the most OP type. Oh no, the fairy being weak to steel is actually that has a reason, and it's because they took that from the book or the novel Fae, so written F-A-E. And in that book, fairies were weak to poisoning their environment. So if you wanted to get rid of fairies, you would need to poison where they live in order to defeat them. Or a silver, like anything silver, and that's where the steel weakness comes from. It's actually a reference to that, and I think that's clever. And it gives steel better offense. "15-year-olds don't have the emotional reasoning all the time to see what they are becoming." Yeah, that too. Definitely. Plus, the people who are sharing these beliefs are adults, kids who tend to look up to them, sadly. Yeah, all with that Andrew Tate thing going around. It's really scary. And they're very easy to impress as well. Not all of them, of course. Well, you're talking about Nazis. I have a question. it is very interesting for me to know Russian propaganda is calling my country and everyone else here Nazi for at least 10 years. How often do you see anything like that in the media? I also see that, like, they really like to say things about how there's Nazis in the Ukrainian, like, with soldiers being Nazis. But that's a red herring. I mean, I can identify it as such, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't seem to be able to do the same thing. Very often I see groups called Nazis all the time who aren't necessarily Nazis, but it's used as a common justification to attack people. That as well. Kind of a buzzword now. Wie politisch es hier plötzlich geworden ist, haha. Ja, manchmal passiert das. Also, die ersten 6 Minuten des Streams, da war schon Politik dran. Das kommt irgendwie immer wieder zurück. Ich mache immer Witze drüber. It's honestly a very big communication issue, that as well. Yeah, definitely. Lots of men can't deal with the emotions properly, and when treated well at all by a woman, they go crazy. Oh, you don't want to know, Kaiser Kamazin, how many men thought I was flirting with them because I was nice to them. And for example, at university, I gave them I copied my writings, my notes to help them. And yeah, they just thought I was trying to flirt with them, and then they were really angry when they saw on my WhatsApp or anything like that I had a partner. Back then, my husband was a fiancé. But I mean, why angry? I didn't lead you on or anything. I'm just nice because that's how I was raised. Be nice to people and try to be helpful. And I like to treat people like I like to be treated, and I loved it when people just randomly helped me, gave them their notes so that I could maybe catch up on a lecture that I didn't really understand, or maybe I couldn't attend or anything like that, or I had a bad night's sleep. And they would give them their notes. That was awesome, so I did the same thing. You didn't really need to be super nice to me. If asked, I just provide them, because if people did that to me, I was happy, so I just did it as well. And they just thought I was leading them on. No, I'm not. Yeah, women don't like this and cause a lot of problems. Also, Anglo-Saxon mythos says iron kills fake creatures. Yeah, that as well. Council of Andrews needs to revoke Andrew Tate's name. Yeah, I feel bad for you, Tainted. That's sad. Yeah, it is sad. Fortunately, more and more European countries, people are voting right, which is very troubling, or at least it worries me. Because, well, hundreds of years ago, there was something very similar going on, and hopefully it won't end there. Just said that the old jerk who bite once because he threw trash at me is gay. He's only 16, already did some messed up things, not hating him because he's gay, but he's always been a jerk. Yeah, don't hate. I mean, I had a bully who was left-handed, but I wouldn't make fun of that because she was left-handed. Why? Being a jerk or bully, that's what makes it judgeable, not being gay. Don't know what messed up things he did, but, well, if he's a jerk and a bully, bullying already by itself is messed up in my opinion. I think this is gonna be the last reset because pretty close to midnight now. Also took a nap before the stream, which thankfully it didn't last too long. Sometimes I accidentally fall asleep and then it's 4 hours. Not a fan of that. Definitely not. But yeah, basically going back and forth for the egg is like 6 minutes. Ah, there we go. I can do another one. Another reset. Alright, last reset, here we go. Let's see if this is it. If not, I'll continue on Tuesday and Friday if I don't get it on Tuesday. I mean, just like with the Voltorb, however long it takes. With this one, the frames that I get are consistent, but it's just the hatching the egg process that takes so long. The messed up things he did already did things in bed, wink wink, with the other kid by force. Whoa, that is... You mean R-A-P-E? That is very messed up. That's criminal. That's sick. Jeez. 16 and he does that? What? That is horrifying, Ahmed. Jeez, what a... Bite him again. Jeez, that's some sick people in the world. And like 16 and already this messed up. Yeah, that's the morbid conversations again, right? Oh, these chats, man, they are just so much out there. People be more mature, but it's complicated. I'll go more into all my beliefs surrounding this another time. Yeah, you don't need to say anything if you don't feel like, but since it's my stream and people ask me, I feel like I can share my view. You don't have to agree with everything that I say, and I'm not trying to force my opinion down your throats, but I do not tolerate intolerance towards things that people can change, and among these things are sexuality, ethnicity. I mean, you know, these Nazis, I just hate them. I mean, they try to conquer my country, not just Luxembourg, but also my other country, Italy. And what my grandparents said about their occupation, Jesus, that makes your toes curl, the toenails curl. It's horrible. Just, yeah. Really don't like these people. All I'm going to say is you don't know how refreshing it is in general for me to be able to have an intellectual conversation of any kind with other people. Lots of friends don't like... Yeah, I also have to ditch some friends who are like... They have the emotional intelligence of a toddler. And you just can't give them the best examples, like with... fantastically researched, and they're like, no, it's stupid, and I'm right and you're wrong. And like, wow, you're not debating to advance or to learn something new, but you just want to come across as I know everything and I'm better than you. That's not a debate. That's just being a toddler. 95% of what I say. Well, that's 5% of perfection. Won't talk anything that is messed up like this. No, it's okay, Ahmed. It's just... Holy crap. That is... What a messed up kid. Could not believe what my cousin told me till I asked of his friends and he told me what he did. Yeah, man, that is criminal, man. That is... Yeah? I mean, I was about to say, shouldn't he, like, tell the police that? Because that is really messed up. So that even asked them to do it with him, but they end up cutting him from their life. Oh, very good decision. That's a good and mature decision. You don't want people like that in your life. They're just gonna hurt you. And that's a kind of hurt that... You know, when predators like that, when they get caught and they get like minuscule prison sentences, that makes me so mad. It makes me so angry because the judges don't realize how much pain and suffering and trauma things like that can give to the victim, and basically their lives are forever changed. And for those predators to only get like 5 months probation or something, that's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting and unfair. And what you said that I disagree with, barely disagree with for the most part, so it's not even worth debating. Yeah. And I mean, the world would be very boring if we all thought the same. His father is dead, but that no excuse if you ask me for being a jerk. Yeah. Is that the guy who you taunted with that? I mean, that is an ouchie. Hit right in the field. But Ahmed, I also had things like that. Like, I used to have a bully in high school, a female bully, she would bully a lot of girls just for falling out of line. And then she would come around and fish for compliments and just say, like, grab her skin. And she was not anorexic, but very close to it, like skin and bones. Didn't eat because she had body dysmorphia. And then she would just grab her skin and say, oh look, tell me I'm not fat, tell me I'm not fat. And one day she was just really, really mean to me. Like, she was playing psychological stupid games, spreading rumors about me, just doing everything that trying to do everything so that I get hated in high school. You know, these kinds of stupid things. And at that point I was so angry that I said, if a boy is attracted to you, would that count as necrophilia since you're a skeleton? And that hit her so hard, I made her cry, but then she didn't stop, but the bullying went down a notch. So I also have been in situations like that, so I don't judge you for that, Amit. I know how that is. I know that in truth, you aren't like happy that his father is deceased, and usually you wouldn't jump around on that thing to hurt people, but just some people you need to, they hurt you psychologically, and you just give them a jab back to say, hey, stop it, you've tested my boundaries long enough. Here you have your own medicine. And usually the ones who dish it out can't take it. That's pretty funny. And not really funny, but I mean, ironically funny. Can't even think of any off the top of my head. I just remember once or twice I didn't agree with you. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's pretty normal. And I actually am looking forward to maybe someone teaching me something new about a topic that I thought I knew some things about, and maybe I learned something new. I'm always looking forward to learning something new. You never stop learning after all. Think of telling police there's no way I'm leaving criminal like that? Yeah, actually do it. Because that is disgusting. No shiny, unfortunately. Alright, so that has been it. Unfortunately for tonight, no Wynaut, but no worries. I will continue hunting it next week. And as always, thank you so much for being part of the stream. Tomorrow I'm gonna be streaming the Safari Zone again on Emerald, so yeah, see you guys then. Was fun as always. Have a good one. Goodbye and good night.